from the Hyatt Regency in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the King Center's 2023 Annual Beloved Community Awards, honoring individuals and corporations committed to creating the beloved community. Tonight's honorees include Aminata Toure, Ariel Investments, Dolly Parton, Holly Robinson Pete and Rodney Pete, Melanie Campbell, the Panther Anti-Racist Union, Reshma Sajani, Shane Claiborne, and Yvonne Chenard, with performances by Deborah Cox, Angel Taylor, Goldsford, Major, and Bishop William Murphy, and appearances by Dr. Bernice King, Anton Vincent, Cammie Anderson, George T. French Jr., John R. Seidel III, Dr. Joy Blumweenie, Congresswoman Lucy McBath, Niles Fitch, Tisha Campbell, Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II. And now, please welcome your hosts, artist, author, mental health advocate, Michelle Williams, and actor, Grammy-nominated spoken word artist of new project, Hiding in Plain View, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Good evening. We are so honored to host the 2023 Annual Beloved Community Awards, and I'm really delighted to be here with you, Malcolm. You look like God has been kind.
Oh, bless you.
Yes, amen.
The universe has been kind. Thank you, Michelle.
Wonderful.
And I must say that I am equally thrilled to share this experience with you, and I must say that you look absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Now, I understand you hosted the Beloved Community Awards last year.
I did. And so thank you again. I was the host last year, and we are in for an exceptional experience. I learned so much about the work of the center and this incredible event. The Beloved Community Awards is an extraordinary opportunity to celebrate individuals and organizations committed to eradicating injustices and bringing us closer to the realization of the beloved community.
Now, you know, I'm excited about this evening, right? So I think we should just jump into it.
Let's go.
Starting us off is none other than global visionary, thought leader, and chief executive officer of the King Center, Dr. Bernice A. King.
Good evening. The last time we were together in person in this room was for our Salute to Greatness Gala during the 2020 King Holiday observance. Shortly afterwards, a pandemic forced all of us to go virtual and reimagine some things. As such, we transitioned our Salute Gala into the Beloved Community Awards. Therefore, let me officially welcome you to the King Center's third annual Beloved Community Awards, commemorating the 94th birthday of my father, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. We are at a critical, consequential juncture in the history of the United States and the world. There are individual and collective choices we are facing that will determine whether we will continue to diminish and devastate humanity and the earth, or if we will elevate our thinking and our engagement to cut off the chain of violence, as my mother and founder of the King Center, Mrs. Coretta Scott King, would often say. Cutting off the chain of violence in all of its manifestations includes transforming and, if needed, reforming social and economic systems, policies, and practices, including healthcare, criminal justice, education, housing, income, banking, and lending, as well as corporate policies and practices that were founded in and or perpetuate inequity and injustice. To transform means to make a thorough change in the form, in the appearance, and the character of. This is precisely what systems in the United States and across the globe require for us to avoid our collective ruin, a thorough and deliberate change in form, appearance, and character. From our destructive rhetoric and divides to our policies and practices concerning the climate, racial inequity, international trade, democracy, militarism, immigration, and poverty, we are in moral distress. That moral distress necessitates cultivating a new way of thinking and transforming unjust systems, both of which must happen in tandem with what my father called a radical revolution of values. As he wrote in his last book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community? Nothing, and I mean nothing, could be more tragic than for men and women to live in these revolutionary times and fail to achieve the new attitudes and the new mental outlooks that the new situation demands. We cannot facilitate and embrace new situations without new attitudes and a new mental outlook. We cannot transform unjust systems without cultivating a beloved community mindset. As Albert Einstein's words convey, problems cannot be solved at the same level of thinking that we were at when we created those problems. I'm also reminded of my father's words that we must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. These notions demand that we reach higher in our thinking and dig deeper in love to get us out of this human-made conundrum of inhumanity and injustice. With these pressing thoughts and demands on humanity in mind, the King Center has chosen as a theme for our 2023 King Holiday observance. It starts with me, cultivating a beloved community mindset to transform unjust systems. The 2023 theme reflects our unflinching belief that if we are to change the trajectory of our world house, cultivating a beloved community mindset is vital and must precede and then correspond with sustainable work to transform unjust systems. A beloved community mindset entails understanding that we are interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent. It entails the ability to disagree without demeaning each other, employing peaceful means in our quest for peaceful ends. It entails mental and spiritual conditioning to correct injustice and inequity without canceling people, as well as wishing destruction upon or seeking to destroy those persons who propagate the injustice or inequity. It also entails evolving from mere pity and apathy to compassionate action, collaborating without compromising on justice, and embracing the philosophy and methodology of nonviolence as the pathway to the beloved community. That philosophy and methodology is Kingian nonviolence, which the King Center rebranded 10 years ago as Nonviolence 365. The definition of nonviolence by the King Center is a love-centered way of thinking, speaking, acting, and engaging that leads to personal, cultural, and societal transformation. We believe that nonviolence is relevant, powerful, and strategic for challenging and changing unjust ideologies, policies, systems, and practices. It is not only a powerful tool for social change, it is also a posture for engaging others in every area of life, including areas of conflict. This is why the primary and foundational work of the King Center is educating and training people across the world in Nonviolence 365. And I invite each of you to study nonviolence with the King Center, with our virtual experiences and our Nonviolence 365 e-learning platform, which has been translated into 6 languages: French, Spanish, German, Italian, Korean, and Mandarin. And yes. And has recently been adapted to include a 3.5-hour workplace edition appropriate for creating inclusive and belonging workplace cultures. Please visit thekingcenterinstitute.org and sign up to join us on this pilgrimage to nonviolence. If we're going to save the very soul of our nation and world, it is vital that we embrace nonviolence as a means for cultivating a beloved community mindset to transform unjust systems. Our honorees reflect what it means to cultivate that mindset, a mindset that is rooted in love, is other-centered, understands the interrelatedness of humanity, prioritizes people over profit, and recognizes that everyone is to be valued and treated with respect, as well as afforded just and equitable life circumstances. Each of tonight's amazing and inspiring honorees have impacted and are transforming our humanity in remarkable ways with their work, and you will find out more as the night unfolds. An event of this magnitude takes a lot of planning, prepping, perseverance, performance, and production by an extraordinary team of professionals. To all those who poured their heart, soul, time, talent, and resources into this beloved Community Awards, I want to thank you for working assiduously to produce a stellar in-person and streaming event. And I want to especially express my sincere gratitude to our King Center planning team, including our new special events department team members, our event producers, consultants, vendors, award recipients, program participants, and performers. May God richly bless and keep you. To each of our amazing sponsors, your financial support is important to us, impactful to those we serve, and not taken for granted. On behalf of the King Center Board of Trustees, staff, and team, we truly appreciate and are extremely grateful for your ongoing support. Thank you for partnering with us as we work to fulfill the vision of the beloved community where injustice ceases and love prevails. And finally, let me express my love and appreciation to each and every one of you who have joined us tonight. Now, to start our show, we have an inspirational musical message from a young woman you may remember from Trinity 5-7, the award-winning and talented artist, Angel Taylor.
Just when I thought that I had nothing left, thought I'd throw in the towel, I'd done my best, thought I could walk away from the stress, thought I'd just give it up, exit stage left, 'cause I tried for so long, I tried on my own, and I tried for so long, I tried on my own, and you found me in the middle of my pain, found me in the middle of my heartbreak, you found me in the middle of my
nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to violence and oppression. Man must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. changed the world when he demonstrated what could be achieved through nonviolence. Now, you can learn how to live and practice this philosophy yourself through Nonviolence 365 Online, an innovative digital experience developed by the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change. Nonviolence 365 Online features extensive video interviews with real nonviolence practitioners, including the King Center CEO Dr. Bernice A. King Center certified instructors and trainers, and veterans of the civil rights movement. Explorations of the historic campaigns that helped Dr. King forge his philosophy. Immersive, annotated reading experiences that enhance Dr. King's most influential writings on nonviolence. Custom activities, including quizzes and interactive scenarios to help you practice along the way. Real-world exercises to help you start applying nonviolence in your daily life. Nonviolence 365 is a love-centered way of thinking, speaking, engaging, and acting that leads to personal, cultural, and societal transformation. It isn't just a concept for philosophers or political leaders. Nonviolence 365 is a powerful, practical approach to dealing with conflict and dismantling injustice. Whether it's in your personal life, in your school or workplace, your local community, or a national movement. Dr. King, Mrs. Coretta Scott King, and many others sought to create the beloved community, a society built on global cooperation and equity. This wasn't a lofty utopian dream. It's a realistic and achievable goal because each and every one of us has the power to make it happen by committing to nonviolence as a way of life. Take the first step today with Nonviolence 365 Online.
The King Center presents a beloved community spotlight. Kendall Ray Johnson, at 7 years old, is the youngest certified farmer in the state of Georgia. Kendall Ray's love of farming has empowered her to become an advocate and spokesperson for little people across Georgia and beyond. She was inspired by the teachings of her great-grandmother, Laura Kate Williams. And although Kendall Ray doesn't quite remember her great-grandmother, she remembers hearing her saying, "Don't throw my collard green stems away. Put them back in the dirt." It all started when she was 3 years old and her parents planted vegetables on the patio. At 4 years old, her parents built a larger garden bed around the property's premises. Kendall Ray's little neighborhood friends were amazed by the growth of her garden, and she would invite her friends over to help harvest it. Kendall Ray is on a mission. She partnered with the Fort Valley State University Cooperative Extension 4-H to create the first youth development program in urban agriculture with 1890 Land Grant University. She regularly attends Georgia Agriculture Summits, meetings, and conferences to learn more about her work. She regularly speaks at elementary schools, libraries, and organizations where youth are involved. She services 26 monthly memberships for food baskets from her own garden, hosts kids marketplace events, and inspires other young people through literature engagements about her incredible farm.
Now, to present our first award for the evening, the Beloved Community Technological Innovation Award is last year's recipient. Please welcome Dr. Joy Bolalami, founder of Algorithmic Justice League.
Wow. I was indeed honored to be the recipient of the 2022 Beloved Community Technological Innovation Award. This award is presented each year to an individual or corporation committed to creating the beloved community through innovative and groundbreaking efforts in technology. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, We as a nation must undergo a radical revolution of values. We must rapidly begin the shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society. When machines and computers, profit motives and property rights are considered more important than people, the giant triplets of racism, extreme materialism, and militarism are incapable of being conquered. Tonight's honoree is helping to make that shift. Let's take a look at our first award recipient.
Innovative, visionary, and bold. An activist, author, and attorney dedicated to uplifting women and serving her community. Reshma Sajani champions the cause of closing the gender gap in technology between girls and boys through her organization, Girls Who Code. The objective of Girls Who Code is to close the ever-widening gap that exists globally between women and men in technology. Girls who participate in the program learn to be brave, resilient, persistent, and ambitious, all characteristics required to create the beloved community. Reshma believes Girls Who Code is more than an international nonprofit. It is a movement.
I am honored to present this award to my sister in tech for her work encouraging girls and women to embrace opportunities in science, technology, engineering, and math. Please welcome this year's recipient of the Beloved Community Technological Innovation Award, Reshma Sajani, founder and CEO of Marshall Plan for Moms, and that's not all, also founder of Girls Who Code.
Joy and I have been getting into a lot of trouble together for a long time, so it's an honor to be here with her on the stage. I want to thank you. I want to thank my parents who are also in this room. They came here as refugees from Uganda, and every minute of my commitment to my public service is dedicated to them. I want to thank all of you. Thank you, Bernice King, for having me. As I told you, your father is an inspiration for my life. Dr. King understood better than anyone that racial and gender equality were inextricably linked with economic opportunity. That when we can see past the way someone looks and straight into their potential they hold on the inside, then only then will we be free. It's why I created Girls Who Code, because I wanted to provide the next generation with not only a new skill, but a lifelong education, and eventually a career that helps them overcome systematic barriers to success. And it's why in building Marshall Plan for Moms, I've fought to make this country fight for the value of mothers, for their unpaid, unseen labor, and recognize that caregiving work is work, and it should be compensated and should be respected as such. It is an honor to receive an award in Dr. King's name. I led my first march when I was 13 years old, and I've strived to live my life in his image ever since. It has been the greatest privilege of my life to make sure that I teach my students and women who fight for rights to create a world in his image. Like him, these women and these girls are fighting every day for dignity, opportunity, and the chance to just be seen for their potential. And like him, their work is just getting started. This award is because of them. This award is for them. Thank you.
To present the Beloved Community Youth Influencer Award is a young man, perhaps best known for his starring role as the teen version of Randall Pearson on the award hit TV show This Is Us, and more recently in his role as Quentin in the 2021 film Fallout. Please welcome actor and filmmaker Niles Fitch.
The Beloved Community Youth Influence Award recognizes young leaders under the age of 30, or organizations focused on youth initiatives that exemplify exceptional leadership in areas of peace, social justice, and nonviolent social change to create and help the beloved community. In his 1967 speech, The Other America, Dr. King said, "Human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step towards the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle. The tireless exertion and passionate concern of dedicated individuals. Our next honorees exhibited courage in taking a stand against injustice and racism in their school systems." Let's take a look at this year's recipients, the Panther Anti-Racist Student Union.
The Panther Anti-Racist Union stands for diversity education for all children. After the murder of George Floyd, co-founder Christina Ellis wanted to create a safe space where students could come together and have meaningful discussions around social justice initiatives outside of their regular classes. This is how the Panther Anti-Racist Union was born. Since then, young activists have worked together to combat racial injustice and other social issues impacting our world peacefully and through nonviolent engagements. Student leaders leading peaceful protests successfully reversed their school district's banning of certain books. Their collective efforts changed not only the lives of the youth in their school district, but also expanded the mindsets of others, an important attribute needed to create the beloved community.
I am beyond honored to present the Beloved Community Youth Influencer Award to the Panther Anti-Racist Student Union.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Ellis, and I'm the former Vice President of Peru, the Panther Anti-Racist Union. On behalf of Mr. Hodge, Ms. Jackson, Renee, Olivia, and Ida, and the 70-plus members of Peru, we want to sincerely thank you, Dr. Bernice King, and the King Center for honoring us with the Beloved Community Youth Influencer Award. The King Center and Dr. Bernice King have supported and mentored Peru since 2021, and we are forever grateful. We hope our relationship will continue to grow and allow us to highlight the theme of tonight's ceremony. It begins with me. This is such a powerful statement because it puts responsibility to bring about change on the individual. Look at the inspiration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Miss Coretta Scott King. When they saw injustice, they didn't wait for others. They spoke up and they put action behind their words. In Peru, we strive every day to encompass the spirit of peaceful and non-violent activism to bring about change. In the words of the immortal John Lewis, quote, "When you see something that is not right, not just, not fair, you have to speak up," end quote. You could be the next person that initiates the next wave of change. It begins with me, it begins with you. We wish you much peace, love, and justice. Thank you so much.
Join me in welcoming Grammy-nominated musician, soul singer, and actor, Major.
Something's gotta change.
We the people of the United States of America,
right now.
In order to form a more perfect union, we got to do it together.
Something's gotta change.
Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but right now. Hear a whole lot of talking, but we gotta get walking. Right now, right now. I see what you're repping, but we gotta get stepping. Right now, right now. We can move mountains if we do it together, y'all. We can break down and rewrite the law if we do it together, y'all. We can build bridges race to race if we do it together, y'all. Giving the world a change of pace, we can do it together, y'all. Oh, something's gotta change. Something's gotta change right now. Right now. Sing that with me, say, something's gotta change. Let me hear, something's gotta change right now. Right now. Oh. My blood bleeds red. Your blood bleeds red. Right now. Right now. When your brother is dead, that means my brother is dead. Right now. Right now. Hey, we can move mountains if we do it together, y'all. We can break down and rewrite the law if we do it together, y'all. We can build bridges race to race if we do it together, y'all. Giving the world a change of pace if we do it together, y'all. Everybody say, something's gotta change. Let me hear. Something's gotta change. Right now. Everybody clap with me. Let's do it together, y'all. Something's gotta change. Something's gotta change. Oh, right now, right now, right now, right now. Oh. Everybody clap.
But we're getting closer.
This is what happens when we do it together.
This nation's founding, our union is not yet perfect. We are getting closer. Our job's easier because somebody already got us through that first mile. Somebody already got us over that bridge. When it feels the road's too hard, when the torch we've been passed feels too heavy, we will remember these early travelers. Draw strength from their example. Hold firmly to the words of the prophet Isaiah. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength.
Everybody say change.
Like eagles.
Everybody say change. Everybody say change.
We honor those
everybody
who
say change.
So we could run.
Everybody say change.
So our children
if you believe it, if you agree, can I hear you scream?
Awesome God.
Everybody clap your hands with me. We gotta do it together. We gotta do it together. They said soon I will be done with the troubles of this world. If we do it together, if we do it together, everybody say change, say change, say change, say change.
Something's gotta change. Something's gotta change.
Yes.
Right now.
Dr. King had a dream.
Right now.
We're seeing it now.
Something's gotta change.
But there's more to the story.
Something's gotta change.
We do it together. Together.
Right now.
Everybody say right now.
Right now.
God bless you. My name is Major, and I approve that message.
The King Center is grateful for the support of its sponsors and donors this evening. This is the King Center's signature fundraiser, and you too can support its impactful work by texting MLK Give to 44321. Remember, all donations, no matter how big or how small, are appreciated. Now, our next presenter is a nationally recognized leader and influencer in higher education and educational policy. Dr. French has served 3 secretaries of education under 2 United States presidents as a congressional appointee to the National Advisory Committee on Institutional Quality and Integrity. So please welcome the president of Clark Atlanta University, Dr. George T. French, Jr.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce this year's recipient of the Beloved Community Civic Leadership Award. This award is presented to an individual who diligently works at the community level. Now, while I say community level, I can call her any day, and she's also at the White House at the same time. But she brings about peace and racial and social equity and nonviolent social change. Melanie Campbell is a true servant leader who works tirelessly to ensure that everyone may exercise their right to vote. She devotes her life to encouraging and empowering youth to be great leaders and ensuring women's voices are heard. Let's take a look now at more of her contributions to the world.
Impactful, empowering, astute. Melanie Campbell is an advisor to U.S. presidents, congressional members, corporate, labor, and nonprofit executives, philanthropists, faith leaders, and others on critical issues impacting Black America. A dedicated, outspoken advocate and activist for civil rights, women's rights, social justice, and voting rights, Melanie has successfully led multi-million-dollar civic engagement, voter empowerment, and issue-based campaigns. For over 20 years, the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation's Black Youth Vote, the empowerment program, has successfully engaged and trained a new generation of civic leaders and political activists. Through Black Youth Vote, students, community advocates, and young professionals have gained essential tools that enable them to lead their communities to participate fully in the democratic process, focused on attaining greater social and economic justice. Melanie Campbell is also committed and focused on lifting up Black women and girls' leadership in the movement for justice, fairness, and equality.
Please welcome the Beloved Community Civic Leadership Award recipient, President and CEO of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation and the convener of the Black Women's Roundtable, Melanie Campbell.
So good evening, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Bernice King and the King Center for this honor. I am humbled to be receiving this award alongside esteemed and deserving recipients. We are living in a time where our rights and freedoms are under attack. The legacy of the civil rights movement is more important now than ever. We must continue building coalitions and fighting for progress in building the beloved community. I am deeply grateful and inspired to continue this important work in the spirit of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Mrs. Coretta Scott King, and the entire King family. And I just want to lift up Cleo Orange and Jamada Orange, who continued the legacy of Reverend James Orange, who also taught me the importance of staying in my lane, but also the importance of understanding that we all have a role to play in making sure our communities not just survive, but that we thrive. So thank you, and God bless you.
Now, if you have to have your phone out, can you tell your folks on your social medias to text MLK Give to 44321? Amen? All right. back to the service. To present our next award, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a minister, social activist, teacher, speaker, the president and senior lecturer at Repairers of the Breach and co-chair of the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival, and a member of the National Board of the NAACP, and last year's recipient of the beloved Community Social Justice Award, Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II.
The beloved Community Social Justice Award recognizes a person or a corporation that has demonstrated a commitment to utilizing influence and power with love to transform unjust systems. Additionally, this award recognizes industries and individuals working to advance the realization of the beloved community, a world where injustices cease and love prevails. Let's take a look at Shane's life.
Courageous, willing, and committed, awards that describe our next honoree. From his work with Mother Teresa in Calcutta, his advocacy for the homeless, to his tireless fight to eradicate militarism through the power of love, our next award recipient reflects what it means to be a social change agent, a prominent speaker, activist, and best-selling author, Shane Claiborne. Shane heads up Red Letter Christians, a movement committed to living as if Jesus meant the things he said. A champion for grace, which has led him to jail advocating for the homeless, and to places like Iraq and Afghanistan to stand against war. Now grace fuels his passion for ending the death penalty and helping stop gun violence.
Would you join me in welcoming to the stage the 2023 Beloved Community Social Justice Award recipient, author, activist, speaker, and co-founder of Red Letter Christians, Shane Claiborne.
Well, it's a gift. It's a gift to be here tonight, and especially to be with people who inspire me every single day, not the least of which is Reverend Barber, but also my wife, Katie Jo, who's here. She inspires me every day. Her parents are here. My mom is here, who not only made me, but also made this suit I'm wearing, Reverend Barber. My dad, so many of my friends, family, co-workers, mentors, people I pray with, I laugh with, I go to jail with. We got the in-laws and the outlaws at our table tonight. And it's times like these, Dr. Bernice, where we're reminded that we're not alone, that we're not crazy. Or maybe it was Peter Morin who was right when he said, if we are crazy, it's because we refuse to be crazy in the way that this world has gone crazy. And I think of when Dr. King, was accused of being maladjusted, and he took that insult and made it a compliment and said, there are some things we don't want to be adjusted to. We live in a world that has become way too adjusted to racism, way too adjusted to poverty, way too comfortable with other people's suffering. We need some maladjusted people. So I look at this group, and it's an absolute honor to be among such distinguished maladjusted people. Thank you. Amen.
Here to share a message that is sure to inspire us all to stand together for justice is national recording artist Bishop William Murphy.
Even if it's just us, listen, seek justice. It's the command we have to follow. Defend the orphan. That's the assignment of the season. That is the call. It's upon us all. Learn to do good. God wants righteousness and justice. He wants us to stand against all evil and oppression. He wants us to fight for what we know is right. We will obey. Listen at the words. We're so tired of. We're so tired. We're so tired of waiting on other people to change. So we stand together, demand justice. Well, y'all gonna say, even if it's just us, still enough of us. Guess what? We gonna change the world. Yeah, yeah. We gonna change the world. I wrote another verse, says, seek purpose. We can't waste another minute. Time is not waiting. We've got to see the bigger picture. We're part of the crowd, so we shout it aloud. It's time for a change, and we won't weary, we won't tire. We will not relent, but we will lift the master higher until we are free. This is what we will be. This is our plea. If you feel me, sing this with me. Say, we're all tired of hoping and praying. We're so tired of waiting on other people to change. So we stand together. We want justice. We want justice. Our voices. We just want to say, even if it's just us, still enough of us, we gon' change the world, one heart at a time. This can't happen again. This can't be how it ends. Listen, all we want is a win. So we welcome you, even if it's just us, still enough of us, we gon' change it. We shall overcome. We will. We shall overcome someday. We shall overcome someday. Real simple. I need you to help me, beloved community. Say, we shall overcome. When you wave your hand like this, say, we shall overcome someday. Overcome someday. Well, we shall overcome. We're gonna come over. We're gonna come over, overcome someday, overcome someday.
It's going into the market, embracing that community, understanding what their needs are.
The values of this company being able to really help and support our minority banking initiative, our diverse homeownership initiative, those long-standing commitments demonstrate Wells Fargo's consistency around helping communities of color.
We really have to be strategic about thinking about the next generation. We know we can find great students at HBCUs. We're just really excited about what we're building on for the future.
We're sitting here in this beautifully redesigned branch that was designed with community needs in mind. We can have a true impact as we have more welcoming environments and we provide services that help community members understand that we are partners with them in their financial journey.
The King Center presents a beloved community spotlight. Sia Kolisi is one of the most significant figures in the modern game of rugby, having been named rugby's most influential person of 2020 by Rugby World magazine. He led South Africa to their third Rugby World Cup title in 2019 as the national team's first black captain with a 126-year history. However, he is better known for his humility and commitment to humanity. Sia and his wife Rachel co-founded the Kolisi Foundation, which provides assistance and opportunities for South Africans from vulnerable and disadvantaged communities. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the foundation provided PPE to frontline medical workers. Sia has always been driven by the idea that his humanity and well-being are intrinsically tied to the well-being of others. His response to the question of why does he do so much work was, "You can't delegate. It is something you have to become, and no one is above that responsibility and that value." Sia leads by example, raising awareness, changing attitudes, and promoting behavioral change on issues like racial unity and active citizenry. It is this message of unity that has framed Sia's brand in the minds of many South Africans and the world as stronger together.
Tonight, you might get tired of us saying thank you to our sponsors, donors, and partners, but we are truly grateful for their support of our work. We believe the beloved community is possible, and with support from faithful sponsors and donors, each day we are one step closer. If you have not done so, please text MLK Give to 44321. For more than 50 years, the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change has been a global champion of Dr. King's philosophy and methodology of nonviolence. Our high-impact trainings and immersive programs help individuals and organizations drive transformational outcomes and reshape culture through the power of nonviolence. Our approach to achieving equitable and positive social change is rooted in the belief that nonviolence is a way of life. Dr. King said, "A social movement that only moves people is merely a revolt. A movement that changes both people and institutions is a revolution." The King Center, founded by Mrs. Coretta Scott King, continues the revolution over 55 years later. Let's take a look at the impactful work of the King Center.
Impact, effect, influence. The King Center's 2022 experiences, programs, messaging, and initiatives were derived from our theme for the year, "It Starts With Me," shifting priorities to create the beloved community. The King Center published a powerful children's book, "It Starts With Me," which was co-authored by King Center CEO Dr. Bernice A. King and Dr. Kimberly P. Johnson. Our Dynamic Students with King program continued to influence students, educators, and schools with historical perspectives and leadership lessons from civil rights leaders, members of the King family, and friends of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Mrs. Coretta Scott King. Our combined Students with King programming reached over 800,000 youth. The beloved Community Leadership Academy is committed to developing the next generation of compassionate, courageous, conscientious, nonviolent leaders who think critically to solve pressing world issues. The beloved Community Leadership Academy engaged over 100 students from 5 continents. True respect, love, diversity, understanding, honor. The beloved Community Expo attendees experienced different cultures, languages, musical performances, and food.
Hi, everybody. I just came from the U.S. I flew to Liberia. Yeah. And in 2 hours, guess what? I was in Ghana, and I just left Nigeria. I'm on my way to India. Thank you. So I will see you in India. Bye.
Building on our 50-plus year history as a leader in nonviolence training and education, the King Center launched our Nonviolence 365 e-learning course. This NV365 online masterclass, which has been translated into 6 languages and adapted into a 3-hour workplace edition, features veterans of the civil rights movement, some of Dr. King's most essential readings, speeches, and teachings, world-class instructors and practitioners of nonviolence. The King Center hosted beloved community talks, live stream events that called humanity up to compassionate action and powerful reflection regarding the triple evils of militarism, racism, and poverty.
We have a moral responsibility to speak up, to stand up, to show up, and never shut up until all of our brothers and sisters can rise from the shackles of oppression, depression, suppression, and the real violence of poverty.
From the Poor People's Campaign Moral Assembly in Washington, D.C., to voting rights and galvanizing voters, to raising our voice for changing gun laws, the King Center and King Center CEO, Dr. Bernice A. King, carried on the legacy of our namesake and our founder of advocating for a just, humane, equitable, and peaceful world. Each of us can be great. Each of us can serve. It starts with me. It's about us. Donate to the King Center by texting MLK Give to 44321.
Thank you, Dr. Bernice A. King, and all of our friends at the King Center. Microsoft is honored to be the official technology partner of the King Library and Archives, which will enable preservation of the world's largest repository of primary source material related to the life and work of Martin Luther King Jr. and the American Civil Rights Movement. We're excited to announce that on January 16th, in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we will launch the King Center Timeline, a diverse collection of artifacts that chronicle the history and impact of the King Center as established by Mrs. Coretta Scott King in 1968. From these archival resources, this unique collection includes documents, pictures, and videos that demonstrate Mrs. King's commitment to nonviolent social change, challenging us all to be love in the face of opposition and violence. To promote the King Center Timeline, on the 16th, we will also launch a marketing campaign that expresses our collective gratitude for the life and legacy of Mrs. King. We invite you now to watch a short clip from our campaign titled Dear Coretta. Thank you.
The nonviolent movement for social change must be properly interpreted, as well as developing programs that will deal with the issues of today.
Dear Coretta.
Dear Coretta.
Dear phenomenal woman.
Dear Mother, you showed us that resistance is a discipline.
Integrity is a practice in empathy, and courage can be cultivated by each and every one of us.
Dear Coretta.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is a 6-time chief executive of turnarounds and startups with a record of bringing people together to get results. She is committed to racial justice and education, and she was last year's recipient of the beloved community Christine Ferris Legacy of Service and Education Award. Please welcome the founder and CEO of the Third Way Solutions Group of Initiative, Cammie Anderson.
The Christine King Ferris Legacy of Service Award recognizes individuals who have shown a commitment to education as one of the great equalizers in the fight for justice and moving the world towards creating a beloved community. Dolly Parton, I can't believe I get to do this, is a cultural icon whose powerful voice and songwriting skills have established her presence on both the country and pop music charts for decades. Her legacy with music will, of course, live on for generations to come, but equally significant is the impact she's having in ensuring the equitable education of our children. Let's take a look.
More than an award-winning singer and actress, our next honoree, fueled by her father's inability to read, has dedicated her life to providing educational opportunities to children. By providing incentives for students to graduate high school and go to college, she has helped hundreds of students to fulfill their dreams of a college education. As the founder of the Imagination Library, Dolly aims to pick age-appropriate books that foster a love of reading and learning, regard for diversity of people, their roles, culture, and environment, promotion of self-esteem and confidence, appreciation of art and aesthetics. In addition to sharing the books she loved as a child, she is also the author of several children's books and affectionately known as the Book Lady.
It is my absolute honor to present the 2023 Beloved Community Christine King Ferris Legacy of Service in Education Award to a truly phenomenal woman who has never forgotten her roots and through her philanthropic work is moving us closer every day to creating the beloved community. Please welcome the Executive Director of the Dollywood Foundation, Ms. Nora Briggs, who will share a few words with us.
Thank you, King Center. Thank you, Dr. King. I'm honored to be here to graciously accept this award on behalf of Dolly, the Dollywood Foundation, and Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Dolly regrets that she cannot be here in person. So glad that she recorded a special message just for you. Thank you.
Hey, Atlanta, and everybody at the Martin Luther King Foundation. This is Dolly, and I wish so much I could be there to accept this award. I'm so honored about this. Always proud to do my part. So Christine King and all of you there, thank you so much for this.
Here to present our next award is an award-winning actress, producer, singer, songwriter who is perhaps best known for two roles, Martin's longtime girlfriend, Gina, and the funny and charismatic mother, Jay Kyle, on My Wife and Kids, alongside Damon Wayans. She has also been in numerous other movies and can really sing. Please welcome Tisha Campbell. Okay, I'm gonna try to stick to the script. But it's just that I'm so excited to be here, Dr. Bernice, and here at the Beloved Community Awards, and especially excited because I am presenting the next award to my really good friends, Holly Robinson Pete and Rodney Pete. And it's really special because the word that always comes to mind when I think of my friends is servitude. And they serve their children well, their family and friends well. They serve their community well. They serve people who have been struck with Parkinson's and the overwhelming diagnosis of autism. I can attest. Because 21 years ago, I too was struck with the diagnosis for my son, who has autism, and the first people that I called were the Petes. And when I tell you, shaky, when I tell you, I was a blubbering, falling out on the floor, crying. No, I was howling on the phone to them. And they gave me what they give to their entire community, love and so much support. And I can still hear Holly's voice and hear her saying, Tisha, everything is gonna be okay. She was giving me hope where there was no hope. And then she flipped on me and pulled me by my bangs and was like, all right, let's go. We got work to do. You gotta do this, you gotta do this. But that's what they do. They hit the ground and they run and they do that selflessly. So, this next award was named after
Dr. and Mrs. King's eldest daughter, the beloved community Yolanda Denise King Higher Ground Award recognizes individuals in the arts, in entertainment, or sports arena who have exemplified characteristics of the beloved by choosing to take the higher ground in addressing adverse and challenging situations, demonstrating one of the 6 principles of Dr. King's philosophy and methodology of nonviolence in their life's work, or enhancing the quality of life for the marginalized populations and/or advancing humanity. Both highly accomplished in their respective fields, Holly and Rodney have devoted their lives to helping humanity, especially those with autism and Parkinson's disease. Through the Holly Rod Foundation, let's take a look.
Rodney Peete and Holly Robinson Peete are outstanding examples of what it means to use your platform to serve others. Individually, they have enjoyed tremendous professional success in the world of sports and entertainment. They have in turn used that success as a dynamic couple to fuel their activism work within the Parkinson's disease and autism community by founding the nonprofit, the Holly Rod Foundation, which has become their true life's mission. In 1999, Holly and Rodney's philanthropic journey began when they formed the Holly Rod Foundation, inspired by her father's courageous battle with Parkinson's disease. Their mission was to help improve the quality of life of people with Parkinson's disease. Then in 2000, inspired by their eldest son's autism diagnosis, Holly Rod Foundation's mission expanded to provide support and resources to those affected by an autism diagnosis. Most recently, the foundation opened RJ's Place Vocational Training and Parkinson's Support Center in Los Angeles. They provide wraparound services for the entire family, which includes parents, siblings, and caregivers. Their main focus areas are vocational training and job placement. Health and wellness are core elements of their programs, where they address health in a holistic way to incorporate mental, physical, nutritional, and emotional healing. Holly's autism advocacy also extends to her book, co-written with daughter, Ryan Elizabeth Peete, entitled My Brother Charlie, a best-selling NAACP Image Award-winning children's book about autism from the siblings' perspective. Rodney and Holly are the proud parents of 4 children, twins Ryan and Rodney, and 2 sons, Robinson and Roman. Holly's mantra is, I wouldn't change my child for the world, but I would change the world for my child.
We're all different in many ways. To label someone or put someone in a specific category or that box, who are we to limit that person? Give them an opportunity.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage my dear friends Holly Robinson Peete and Rodney Peete, founders of the Holly Rod Foundation, this year's recipient of the 2023 Beloved Community Yolanda Denise King Higher Ground Award.
I'm going to go first because I'll be brief, and nobody knows how to land a plane better than Mama right here, so I'm going to let her finish this up. What an honor this is. Thank you to the King Center. Thank you, Dr. Bernice King, for honoring us today. I'm so inspired by this evening. I almost feel like I want to put on my uniform and run out of the tunnel. I'm so inspired. Not really, honey. My knees are too bad to do that. I can't do that. Dr. King said, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. And that's what we do. Malcolm said something earlier about the future and our young people, and it's in good hands. And I do believe that. I do believe that because we all have dreams. And we all have desires, but sometimes, really all the time, it takes someone to believe in that dream, someone else to believe in that dream. And when I look at Holly, and Tisha's right, because when our son got his diagnosis at 3, and I was stuck in denial with my male ego, thinking, this is not my son, it's not gonna happen to me, and didn't want to do anything. And she would send me books and articles and all those things, and I didn't want to read them because I didn't want to believe it. I didn't have hair, but she grabbed me by my throat and said, let's go, let's get to work. And we got to work. And all those nevers that we heard when he was 3 years old, he would never drive, he would never graduate, he would never get a job, he would never do so many different things. He checked them all off the list. So I just want to say thank you to you, and I appreciate you. Now I'm gonna step aside because the boss is about to talk.
Oh, stop. Wow, first of all, you surprised me with Tisha because I didn't know Tisha was gonna be here. She's one of my besties. When I was out in the cocktail area, someone walked up to me and said, Gina's here, your girl Gina's here. And I was like, Gina, who's Gina? Come in here, sit down, and there's Tisha. So my heart is full to see her here because she's my ace and we lean on each other for so much. So honored to have this award presented to us, especially because it's in the name of your sister, your beloved sister. And it just encourages us to keep moving. In the video, you may have seen my dad. He was the real reason that we were led to a life of service. He loved your dad, and we in Philadelphia, we lived in Philly, and my dad was the original Gordon on Sesame Street. So he started the Sesame Street whole franchise, and in the 60s, late 60s, which was a time when there was no TV that was integrated properly. There were no black kids on TV, so Sesame Street was amazing, and I love that his legacy started that. And he would have amazing people over, because he was Gordon, so people wanted to meet him, and he would come over, people would come over, and Ralph Abernathy came over one night. And I just sat at his knee. I must have been 5 or 6 years old, and he told me stories about Martin Luther King and just about what they did. And I was very young, but so impacted. So this means a lot. This is a real, true full circle moment. With Parkinson's, and then my father eventually ended up with Parkinson's disease, but with Parkinson's and autism, the problem is it's so expensive. We heard the Reverend earlier talking about no health care. And so Rodney and I started Hollyride to help provide compassionate care for families impacted by Parkinson's, and then later on with autism for our son. I just know that there are so many inequities with Parkinson's and autism, but especially autism. Our black boys that have autism are diagnosed 2 to 5 years later than other communities, and they don't get the services that other communities get. So our goal is to help provide those services, to direct them to services, and to help find them jobs. Rodney mentioned the never day. We were told our boy would never do anything, and now he has a World Series ring with his name on it from the Dodgers. I know we were in Atlanta, y'all don't like the Dodgers, but they hired my boy. So they hired him, and I get the chills. I could sob thinking about the Dodgers hiring him and giving him purpose and giving him goals and friends and a paycheck and all these great things. So as you heard in the video, and Rodney and I are always saying we would never change RJ for the world, but we will always try to change the world for RJ. Thank you for helping us and encouraging us to continue changing the world.
Now, our next presenter works tirelessly to end the gun violence, uplift small businesses and our economy, protect and serve our nation's veterans. She is a wife, author, and will forever be known as Jordan's mom. I have never personally met this woman, but I have loved her for years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the representative of the 7th District of Georgia, U.S. Congresswoman Lucy Bath.
It is my honor and privilege to have the opportunity to present our next award. As a daughter, wife, mother, activist, and global leader, Mrs. Coretta Scott King understood the price that one must pay to make a difference in our world. Our next award recognizes a phenomenal woman that embodies the spirit of Mrs. King's words. Women, if the soul of the nation is to be saved, I believe that you must become its soul. Minister for Social Affairs, Youth, Family, Senior Citizens, Integration and Equality of Schweiz-Holstein, I know I'm pronouncing this wrong, Dr. Aminata Touré. Her work reflects the very essence of these powerful words. Let's take a look at tonight's honoree.
A courageous and committed servant leader and activist, Dr. Aminata Touré has worked tirelessly to serve as a voice for the people. She served as the Prime Minister of Senegal from September 2013 to July of 2014. Amplifying her voice and message as part of the political process, she was voted into Schleswig-Holstein State Parliament in 2017. In 2019, she was elected as the State Parliament's Deputy Speaker, becoming the first Black person and the youngest politician to hold such a position in any of Germany's 16 states. She has long pushed for the better and swifter integration of refugees in Germany. This stance earned her enemies and resulted in anonymous threats. But she refused to allow that to intimidate her. Dr. Touré continues to lead as an example of global empowerment. Her history-making accomplishments and persistent human rights activism demonstrate the results of hard work and passion. Her advocacy for women's and civil rights has had a resounding impact on humanity globally.
It is my honor and privilege to present the 2023 Beloved Community Coretta Scott King Soul of a Nation Award to Dr. Aminata Touré.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman, for your speech, and thank you, Dr. Bernice King and the King Center for honoring me tonight. It is a great pleasure for me and an honor. I was born as a child of 2 refugees of Mali in Schleswig-Holstein, in Germany, and it's been a tough time growing up as a Black woman in Germany. And while I grew up, I had a lot of people I looked up to. So in the moment when you wrote me this mail and told me that I would have the honor to get this prize today, I thought about the way I grew up and how impressive I found all these civil rights leaders like your father. And it gave me hope, and it made that I followed my path to fight for social justice in Germany. So I want to thank you so much to give me this honor today, and thank you all for having me. Thank you.
Our next performance is an extraordinary woman in her own right. She is an award-winning recording artist, Canadian Music Hall of Fame inductee, an international talent spanning the worlds of music, Broadway, TV, film, and more. So please, welcome to the stage, Miss Deborah Cox.
Things may not always go right for you in those times. Just leave it behind. Sometimes you gotta play the game just to survive. Without losing yourself, it's a fight. It's true. It takes time. Don't have all the answers. No matter how hard it gets, hold on to what's inside. Don't ever let no Open up your eyes and look to the sky and believe. There's much more to life when you're free. That's the key. And in time, see you will find all the answers. Don't have to lose your breath. Hold on to what's inside. Don't ever let nobody bring. Don't ever let them bring you down. Tear your world apart. Look in the mirror and see who you are. Beautiful, so beautiful. Don't ever let nobody bring you down. Oh, look in the mirror and see beautiful you are. Yeah. Don't care what they say anymore. There's no time to face it, I'm leaving it all at the door. She's staring me in the face. She's shaking and saying, by day, I'm finally on my way. Don't ever let nobody tell you what. See you are beautiful, so beautiful you are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't ever let them break you down. Oh, tear your world apart. Look in the mirror and see beautiful you are. Beautiful you are. Thank you.
The King Center presents a beloved community spotlight. Using his extensive engineering experience and knowledge gained while serving in the military, retired Army Ranger Moses West works closely with the U.S. military and the state of Texas to mitigate the prolonged effects of drought. He does so by advancing the technology of atmospheric water generators. As the CEO and founder of AWG Contracting, he established the Moses West Foundation to provide the world with water crisis relief by addressing disaster-impacted zones, water scarcity, and water rescue. Using his charity, he can raise funds necessary to manufacture advanced water generators that may be dispersed worldwide whenever there is a water shortage. Moses has proven that the atmosphere is a source of water that is limitless in its ability to provide a vital water source for many critical areas of society. Moses uses the technology in Puerto Rico on the island of Vieques to supply a significant portion of the island with potable water. This is the first time any large atmospheric water generator has been used to address a natural disaster. West's use of AMGs to address the water crisis in Flint, Michigan and Jackson, Mississippi were both historical events. This was the first time industrial atmospheric water generators were deployed in the United States to solve a water contamination issue on such a large scale.
Now to present the 2023 Beloved Community Salute to Greatness Humanitarian Award is an individual who has devoted his life to making our world a more just, peaceful, and sustainable place. He serves as the City of Atlanta's Deputy Chief Sustainability Officer, Mr. John Seidel III.
The Beloved Community Salute to Greatness Humanitarian Award is presented each year to an individual who has demonstrated a commitment to creating a more just, humane, and equitable world. In the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., through their leadership and social justice work. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "I am convinced that if we are to get on the right side of the world revolution, we as a nation must undergo a radical revolution of values." Our next honoree, Yvonne Chouinard, has shown a radical revolution of values and how those revolution of values can make a tremendous impact and a pretty darn cool company. He has committed his life to uplifting humanity and preserving our planet. Let's take a look.
Okay, this is Beta 171. We're at Patagonia with Yvonne Chouinard.
You said you come out here to unwind. What is a guy like you to have to unwind about? You do most everything you want?
Business hassles, you know. I mean, I don't enjoy business very much. I don't enjoy the hassles that go along with being a businessman. So it's great to come out here and get back to the roots, kind of.
6 months out of the year, Yvonne Chouinard is a blacksmith. He makes mountain climbing gear, much of it by hand. Some of the best there is. The other half of the year, he climbs. He's got an international reputation and it's growing.
To this, Patagonia, a company that practically became a cult with its line of colorful and innovative outdoor clothing and equipment.
The 57-year-old founder and owner of Patagonia, now a $150 million company, is a reluctant entrepreneur. Never comfortable behind a desk or in a suit, he is part philosopher, part businessman.
We're trying to be an excellent company here. We're not there, and we never will be there. It means nothing to get to the summit. What's important is the striving to get to the summit. It's how you get to the summit. It's the style that you use in getting there.
And among other things, Patagonia devotes 1% of its sales to environmental projects and initiatives.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd feel a lot more comfortable on top of a mountain than here right now. The mission statement of my company is make the best quality product and cause no unnecessary harm. So we're going to try to make clothing that lasts as long as possible.
Do you think with the momentum that we have in this country for materialism and consumerism that cycle can be stopped in your lifetime?
No, I don't think so. But I think you have to try. We have an environmental assessment program where we look at all our processes, all our materials that we use. And once we educate ourselves, then we act. I was faced with a dilemma. Well, what do I do now? Just keep growing this business bigger and bigger. And I started realizing that business could be a tool. It could be a tool for social change. Over the last 35 years, we've given nearly $90 million to grassroots activists.
The owner of one company is asking us to help the environment by buying less, including less of everything he sells.
And we've trained hundreds, maybe thousands, of young activists to be more effective in their campaigns. We're going to need a revolution in society, and I think the only chance of getting one is through agriculture. with regenerative agriculture, we can actually capture carbon. And I want to be part of that. Patagonia Works is now the name of our company, which includes our clothing company, Patagonia Inc., and a food company, Patagonia Provisions.
They publicly state that they want to use business to inspire and implement environmental solutions.
Public lands have never been more threatened than right now, because you have a few self-serving politicians that want to sell them off and make money.
And the head of Patagonia says he's ready for a long legal fight.
It's evil. And I'm not going to stand back and just let evil win. So we've had lots of, you might call them victories, but recently things have gotten a lot worse. And we've asked ourselves, what more can we do? Giving away just 1% of sales wasn't enough. We had to give away a lot more money, and we had to take things much more seriously. And not a lot of people understand how serious we are about saving this planet. I'm dead serious.
The stunning announcement from the founder of Patagonia.
A billionaire putting his money where his mouth is, the founder of Patagonia.
Ivan's clearly said he wants to keep it as a private company, doesn't believe it should be a publicly traded company.
Extraordinary not only because of what he's doing, but how he's doing it.
Where do you want the movement to take you in another 20, 40 years? Take your company.
I'd like it to be operating without me. That'd be the ultimate sign of success. As if it can go on doing what we're doing and completely without me.
Who is the new owner?
The new owner is the natural world, planet Earth, our only home.
He's giving away the $3 billion company to help fight climate change.
Schweinald saying Earth is now our only shareholder.
I guess I'm an employee of Patagonia now, not an owner.
Unfortunately, Yvon Chouinard cannot be with us this evening, so to accept the award on his behalf is Vincent Stanley, Director of Philosophy for Patagonia Incorporated.
Thank you so much for this honor. On behalf of my uncle, Yvon Chouinard, on behalf of the family, and on behalf of our 4,000 Patagonia colleagues around the world. One of our employees, Susan Wellborn, retired a couple of years ago after working 40 years in our daycare center. And she wanted to continue only 2 of the benefits she'd had as an employee. The first was her discount for buying clothes. And the second was her bail allowance, because she thought in retirement she might have a little more time to get arrested. We do pay the bail of employees who are arrested for acts of civil disobedience, but only if they are trained in nonviolent discipline. So we thank you tonight for including us in the beloved community where injustice ceases and love prevails. And we are committed to being worthy of that honor. Thank you.
Thank you to the King family and King Center for this tremendous honor. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but please know I am there in spirit and deeply grateful to receive the Salute to Greatness Humanitarian Award. But this award really belongs to the employees of Patagonia, past and present, who have made the experiment we call Patagonia possible. They know the real secret of our success for the last 50 years has been unrelenting focus on quality in everything we do. I stand in awe of your commitment to our purpose, and I'm so excited to see what is in store for our future. Thank you to my family, my colleagues, and my new friends at the King Center.
Our next performer emerged with a song that was sorely needed during the pandemic, that still resonates with us today. Please welcome rock and roll singer, soul singer, songwriter Goldford, singing his beautiful and powerful Walk With Me.
Walk with me, I'll walk with you down these troubled roads we've stumbled into. We're all in this thing together, we're gonna make it through. If you walk with me, I'll walk with you. Be there for me, I'll be there for you. When we're running out of hope, when we don't know what to do, like a candle in the darkness, shining bright and true. Be there for me, I'll be there for you. Oh, everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. 'Cause you and me got better days coming. Yeah, everything is gonna be alright. Walk with me, I walk with you. I know the rain of today will bring tomorrow's bloom. Where we can't see where we're going or what the world is coming to. Will you walk with me? Oh, I'll walk with you. Walk with me. I will walk with you. Walk with me, and I will walk with you. It's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Yeah, ooh, it's gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. So walk with me, and I'll walk with you. Oh, walk with me, and I'll walk with you. Oh, walk with me, and I'll walk with you. Walk with me, and I'll walk with you.
The King Center presents a beloved community spotlight.
Born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Gisele Barreto Fetterman immigrated to New York City with her younger brother and mother when she was only 7 years old. Gisele and her family lived as undocumented immigrants for 15 years until she became a dreamer and eventually a citizen. Gisele has devoted her life to advocating and helping others, especially those from marginalized groups, including the immigrant community, as she was once a dreamer. With a focus on nutrition, food equity, and food justice, Gisele opened the Free Store, where families in need may receive surplus goods that would otherwise end up in a landfill, distributing everything from clothing to food to baby formula and diapers. The Free Store has served hundreds of families throughout the years and is a model for other free stores throughout the country. Gisele also founded For Good PGH, which drives numerous initiatives on inclusion, including Hello Hijab, which produces miniature hijabs for dolls, promoting tolerance and diversity. Recently, she founded the Hollander Project, a business incubator for female entrepreneurs. Beyond founding and supporting multiple organizations, Gisele is an unapologetic advocate for immigration justice. Today, she is married to Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, with whom she shares 3 children.
Here to present the 2023 Beloved Community Salute to Greatness Corporate Social Impact Award is the leader of one of tonight's premier sponsors, Mars Wrigley North America President Anton Vincent.
The Beloved Community Salute to Greatness Corporate Social Impact Award is presented each year to a corporation that has demonstrated a commitment to building the beloved community through its leadership and social justice work in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. This year's corporation is committed to advancing educational opportunities in underserved communities through innovative programming, as well as its commitment to promoting education and financial literacy to minority communities. To quote Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., "If our economic system is to survive, there has to be a better distribution of wealth. We can't have a system where some people live in superfluous, inordinate wealth, while others live in abject and deadening poverty." This year's award recipient, Ariel Investments, is committed to closing the financial wealth gap among minorities, making a social impact, and building the beloved community. Let's take a look.
Committed to advancing educational opportunities in underserved communities through its innovative programming and to promoting education and financial literacy in minority communities, our next honoree invests in programs that help create a better world for us all. Through its investment in life-changing after-school and summer programs for more than 15,000 Chicago high school teens each year, programs that help increase financial literacy amongst disenfranchised populations, and other impactful investments and work in the community. In addition, their philanthropic work supports organizations dedicated to advancing civil rights, improving public education, and promoting cultural expression and community well-being. Ariel Investments is making a difference in the lives of others throughout our nation and the world.
It gives me great pleasure to present the Beloved Community Salute to Greatness Corporate Social Impact Award to Ariel Investments. Here to accept the award on their behalf is John W. Rogers, Jr., Chairman and Co-CEO. John?
Thank you very, very much. This has been a really magical evening. I've enjoyed seeing all the other honorees today. It's just been great. Dr. King, thank you for this extraordinary honor. As you know, Dr. Martin Luther King has just been an incredible inspiration for me throughout my life, and I'm humbled to receive this award on behalf of Ariel Investments. At Ariel, as was mentioned, we are fully committed to doing our part to help close this widening wealth gap. We hope that more financial services companies can partner with urban public schools the way that we have in Chicago, and we hope that at our annual Black Corporate Directors Conference, we can continue to help inspire Black directors to follow in the spirit of Dr. King's example and Congressman John Lewis and Ambassador Andy Young's example and Maynard Jack's example, and speak up and speak out for economic justice whenever they are in leadership roles in today's America. We think that's vitally, vitally important. We can all make a difference when we go and fight for economic justice within our leadership roles. So thank you very much for this honor. It's great to be here.
Performing his Soul Train and newly NAACP Image Award nominated gospel single, Whole World in His Hands, please welcome back my brother and friend, Major.
No need to worry, no need to fret. There's no need to be afraid when you know who's got it. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 Everybody sing that with me. He's got the whole world in his hands. One more again we say, he's got the whole world, and it's all in his hands. It's all in his hands. Yes, it is. Every problem, every situation, it's all in his hands. That problem, that situation, that burden is in his hands. Whatever it is, it's in his hands. So tell me, what would I fear when he's right here? What would I fear when he's always been near? Tell me, what would I fear? When he is always here, what would I fear? Yeah, it is in his. Everybody clap with me. Clap your hands if you agree. He's got it in his hands. Let me see you.
went to church, and the majority of y'all didn't leave before the benediction, so here it is. This has been an incredible experience to co-host with you, Malcolm. And as the evening comes to a close, it is our hope that you have been inspired to be the change we so desperately need in our world. Tonight's honorees truly embody what it means to create the beloved community. Their lives, their work, and their commitment are beacons of light that reflect hope for humanity and our ability to cultivate a more just, equitable, and peaceful world.
And I personally have been moved by the great work that the King Center is doing, as well as each award recipient and the beloved community spotlights. Yeah. The 2023 King Holiday Observance theme, it starts with me, cultivating a beloved community mindset to transform unjust systems is a call to action. Each of us must take the initial step to transform the cycles of violence, hate, and inhumanity. To Dr. Bernice A. King, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for affording us the opportunity to be with you and to engage in such meaningful experience. And to our audience, you have been absolutely outstanding.